Our next event, our next stage is blastula. In as the name is showing, in this stage actually what happens, as we studied that our fourth stage, as it is our fifth stage, but the fourth stage was morula, and we saw that, and in that stage morula formation occurred. But let me tell you that morula stage is actually very short lived. So that morula suddenly immediately changes into the blastula, and this blastula is actually characterized by the presence of cavity which is known as blastocele. Now actually in blastula stage we will talk about the blastoderm. This blastoderm is actually discoidal cap of cells above the blastocele. As we saw that in morula a blastoderm was formed. Now that blastoderm is actually present above this blastocele, which is formed in this blastula stage. Now this blastocele, which has blastoderm, and that blastoderm is actually the layer of cells which is present as a cap above side of, on the upper side of this blastocele. We will talk also about an area or kind of junction which is known as zone of junction in this event or in this stage of blastula. What is this actually zone of junction? In marginal area of blastoderm, cells remain attached to the yolk and adherent to it and form this zone. As we saw in this stage of blastula, blastocele formation occurs. Now this blastocele has a cap of blastoderm. Blastoderm is actually the thick layer of cells now. So now this blastoderm, in its marginal area, there are kind of cells present which remain attached to the yolk and they are adherent to it. And now these marginal cells of blastoderm which are attached to the yolk, they form this zone which is known as zone of junction. So now this now at this stage our blastula stage ends, and we move towards our next stage which is known as gastrulation. Now we will talk about the gastrulation. Gastrulation is that event actually in which the formation of layers occurs. So that our blastoderm, it actually separates into the two layers. The first layer is epiblast and the second layer is hypoblast. The epiblast is actually the presumptive ectoderm and endoderm, while hypoblast is the presumptive endoderm. The hypoblast cells, what they do, they actually grow outward over the surface of the yolk and then downward towards the, and then also they show the downward movement. Now let me tell you, there are two type of areas formations occur in actually gastrulation. The first type of area is area pellucida. It is actually the pool of fluid under the central cells of yolk, and it is translucent, while the other area is area opaca, which actually occurs in the peripheral side, in the periphery, and it has and it can transmit light. So the main 2 points which are the formation of these two areas, area pellucida and area opaca, and formation of epiblast and hypoblast. These are the main events which occur during the gastrulation. So in this way our gastrulation also comes to an end.